Hello guys, this is Prakshaljan from Law School 101 and this video is going to deal with Geography Part 1 in the GK series, Static GK series. The flow of the video will be like I will be dealing with three topics, namely Solar System, Earth and GPS, whose subtopics are mentioned here. So let's go to our first topic, that's Solar System. So the solar system consists of the sun, the 8 planets and their satellites called moon, and thousands of other smaller heavenly bodies such as asteroids, comets and meteors. Before that, I want to talk about stars, which can be asked in CLAT. Stars are made of hot burning gases. I repeat, they are made of gases and they emit their own light, unlike planets which are relatively small and do not have their own light. Also, Proxima Centauri is a star which from which it takes 4.3 years to reach light from that star to Earth. Now, quickly let's move on to Sun. Sun is at the center of solar system around which all the heavenly bodies revolve. These planets revolve around it in elliptical orbit. It is a source of energy in the solar system. It is the nearest star to the Earth. Also, hydrogen and helium are the main gases inside Sun. Shining surface of Sun is called photosphere. The outer layer of Sun's atmosphere, which is thin, made of hot gases, is called corona. It is only visible at total eclipse. This is more or less things that can be asked. Also, there are things like Sun size is 13 lakh times as that of the Earth, and it is the ultimate source of energy for life on Earth. Its diameter is 14 lakh kilometers, but it is not as important for CLAT as these points are. Then let's move on to planets. There are 8 planets, as you all know: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Pluto was earlier considered to be a planet, but now it is not considered as dwarf planet. These planets are opaque bodies which continuously revolve around Sun, in which Jupiter is the biggest, as you all know, and Mercury is the smallest. Now, these planets can be classified into two categories, namely terrestrial or rocky planets and Jovian or gaseous planets. The 8 planets which are divided, the 4 planets nearest to the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, are called terrestrial planets because their structure is similar to the Earth. Other 4 planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, are called Jovian planets. Planets are classified, and I would give some characteristics of the two. The inner planets, they include Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. As I had said, they are nearer to Sun. They are made of dense metallic minerals. So basically, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are made up of dense metallic minerals. They move faster and have a shorter period of revolution. They have thin rocky crust. They have a mantle rich in iron and magnesium. Also, they have a core of molten metals. They have thin atmosphere and they have very few natural satellites or no satellites. That's the reason why Earth has a satellite named Moon. Now, I would talk about the characteristics of the outer planets, which include Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They are far away from the Sun. They are made up of hot gases, mainly hydrogen and helium. They move rather slowly and have a longer period of revolution. They are all gaseous bodies made up of gases. They have ring systems around them. They have a large number of natural satellites or moons. Now let's go to our next slide. Now some general questions that can be asked about planets are listed below. So basically, Mercury is the closest planet, as you all know. It is extremely hot planet, but let me remind you that it is not the hottest planet in the solar system. The planet Mercury planet has no water in it. Also, Mercury planet has no protective blanket like ozone around it. as it is in Earth. Venus is the second largest planet in the in distance from the Sun. I apologize. Venus is the second planet in distance from the Sun. This planet is the like more or less it's of the same size as that of Earth, and hence it is called Earth's twin. Venus is known as the evening star as well as the morning star. Venus is called Earth's twin. It rotates clockwise like Uranus, as it is mentioned here. Earth is called a watery planet and blue planet too. Also, Venus is the hottest planet because of the presence of carbon dioxide. As carbon dioxide is present in the Venus atmosphere, that's why it absorbs heat from the sun, and then it emits it during night time. That's why it is the hottest planet in the solar system. Also, Earth is the largest of the inner planets. This is a good question that can be asked, that which among the following planet is the largest among the inner planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. And it's quite easy that Earth is the largest planet among the inner planets. The Earth is 23 and a half tilted on its axis and thus makes 66 and a half angle. It takes 23 hours 56 minutes to rotate on its axis. As I mentioned, Earth is called a watery planet and a blue planet too. Also, now we should also talk about the satellite of Earth, which is Moon. The Moon is the only satellite of the Earth. The maximum distance of the Moon from the Earth, by the way, it's not important. Also, whenever a question is asked about Sea of Tranquility, you should remember that Sea of Tranquility is related with Moon. So whenever there is a question of what can you relate with Sea of Tranquility, it is always the Moon. So basically it is the volcanic eruption that had happened on Moon, because of which there is a mountain that has been formed on Moon, which can be termed as Sea of Tranquility. The highest mountain on the Moon is Libuti Mountain, which is 10,660 meter high. Also, the study of Moon is called selenology, and the Moon is also known as a fossil planet. Now, Mars is known as the red planet. Phobos and Deimos are the two satellites of Mars. Now, as you all know that Jupiter is the largest planet of solar system. Jupiter is also known as the winter planet, as its average temperature is very low. Sometimes it ranges to minus 148 degrees Celsius. Ganymede is the largest satellite in solar system related to Jupiter. Now let's move on to Saturn. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system. Saturn has bright concentric rings which are made up of ice and ice covered dust particles which revolve around it. And then Uranus. Uranus is greenish in color and it is 4 times the size of the Earth. The discoverer of Uranus was Sir William Herschel, who discovered Uranus in 1781. Also, Uranus is the first planet to have been discovered by the use of a telescope. So, it is a good trivia that is being held by Uranus. Now, Neptune is the 8th planet of the solar system, and nothing important can be asked about Neptune. That's it. Okay, now let's move on to asteroids. So, asteroids are also known as minor planets. They are objects that revolve around the Sun. They are mostly found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. They are also Trojan asteroids are found in the orbits of Jupiter. Now let's move on to our next topic, that's meteors and meteoroids, comets. Meteors and meteoroids are also called shooting stars. Meteors are fragments of rock coming towards the Earth, formed due to the collision of asteroids with one another. Meteors are usually small and, due to the heat produced by air resistance, burn up before they reach the Earth's surface. When meteors are large and do not burn up completely, they land on Earth's surface and are known as meteorites. Now, comets are visitors of solar system. Coma gas is released by comets. That's the only thing which is can be asked in CLAT about comets. Now let's move on to Earth. Earth is a topic that can be asked, like it's important, so we should know about it. So Earth, at the North Pole, the pole star can always be observed at 90 degrees in the sky, since the star lies in the line with the axis of the Earth. Also, Earth is an oblate spheroid, so it's not completely spherical, but it's oblate spheroid. Now, uh, let's talk about aphelion. So the position of the Earth or any other planet in its orbit when it is at its distant point from the Sun, that's called aphelion. The Earth reaches its aphelion on 4th July when the Earth is at distance of 152 million kilometer near the other extremity of the major axis. Also, there is a term called as perihelion, which is the minimum distance from the Sun. The Earth, at times when it is at the minimum distance from the Sun, then it's called perihelion. This was the question which was asked in ALET 2017. That means it's pretty much important. So you should know what aphelion and perihelion is. Solstice. So there are two times when sun reaches greatest altitude. That's where that's the day which is called as the solstice. So there are two kind of solstice: the summer solstice and winter solstice. On June 21st, the Earth is so located in its orbit that the sun is overhead on the Tropic of Cancer. That's where the summer solstice happen. So basically, just remember two terms with summer solstice: June 21st and Tropic of Cancer. It is the longest day while the summer hemisphere is tipped away from the sun, having the shortest day. So basically, on this day, the northern hemisphere is tipped towards the sun, having the longest day, and southern hemisphere has the shortest day. On the contrary, on winter solstice, which happen on December 22nd, the Earth is at an equivalent position on the opposite points in its orbit. So the southern hemisphere is tipped towards the sun and the northern hemisphere is away from it. The sun is overhead on the Tropic of Capricorn. So here in winter solstice, it's Tropic of Capricorn and the date is December 22. Now let's move on to equinoxes. Equinoxes are 2 days in a year where day and night are equal throughout the world are equal. So basically this is called as equinoxes. Now also the vernal equinox occurs on March 21st and it is called as spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. The autumnal equinox occurs on September 23rd. Now eclipse, let's move on to eclipse. So basically an eclipse occurs when the sun, moon and earth are in a straight line. And there are two types of eclipse. A solar eclipse occur when moon lies between the sun and the earth. So a short technique can be that solar eclipse, the first letter of each word is S and E. So basically S and E, moon will lie between S and E. You can remember like that if you are confused in it. And the lunar eclipse takes place when the earth comes in between the moon, so that the shadow of the earth is cast on the moon. Now let's move on to our next topic. After that, that's GPS. So GPS, basically the major questions that can be asked in rivers and canals are: the deepest and biggest ocean is the Pacific Ocean, then smallest ocean is Arctic Ocean, longest river is river Nile, largest river in volume is Amazon, which is in Brazil, longest river dam is Hirakud Dam, which is in Odisha, largest dam, the Three Gorges Dam in Hubei province of China, tallest dam is Jinping I Dam in China, largest river basin is Amazon Basin. Also, largest coral formation is the Great Barrier Reef, and these all things are the important superlatives that can be asked under river and canals. And after that, like, you can remember these things like highest waterfall is Salto Angels Fall, largest delta in the world is